What's up, everybody? I'm DJ Sixsmith. You're watching The Sit Down. Kimiko Glenn is back on the show. She's got a lot of good stuff going on. Kimiko, good to hang out again. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. So I am super excited for you because this whole voice acting thing has been a great arc in your career. You got My Little Pony Next Generation coming up. What excites you the most about this project?
What doesn't excite me most about this project? First of all, today I was texting my friend Liza Koshy, who's actually in this movie as Zip Storm, and I was like, today we've brought so much sweetness and kindness and love to the world. Like, I think people are just going to love this so much. There was just like a lot of love surrounding this project, and I think really important messages that I think I'm excited for kids to hear and parents to be reminded of. It's all about accepting one another and not fearing one another, and coming together and being stronger because of that, and getting to know one another and not just drawing assumptions. So I think it's really cool, and with the music, it really makes it so fun to just watch and just enjoy. It's hard not to like get up and dance during it, so it's been a lot of fun.
We need some positive vibes and joy, just given what we've gone through, what's going on in the world right now. How important is it to you that this can hit multiple generations? Because we focus on kids, but parents are going to watch this and parents can definitely learn from it. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I just know that it has such a reach because of that. It's like, I know I'm a fan of it being from my generation, and my friends who have watched it legit loved it and weren't blowing smoke or anything. So it's like nice to know that like it reaches an older generation with the nostalgia, but also like the music is so of now, and it's kid friendly. It's really just so wonderful. So I think that it's really special, and not every project can do that.
You spent some time in this world of kid content recently. What do you think are some of the keys in having content resonate with kids? Because kids are going to call you out like if it isn't legit. So what are some of the keys in making sure it does resonate with young kids?
Yeah, I'm always fascinated by this because I play Baby Shark, and when I read the scripts, I'm like, what is, child psychology? What is the child psychology of this all? Like, how do you talk to kids? And I think what I think is really cool is you don't talk down to them. Like they're not adults yet, so you can't necessarily treat them like adults, but you can present really important kind of deeper concepts to them and have them understand and be communicated. Because if it's a story, anyone can get into it. Anyone can have empathy for a character and understand why. So I think that's mostly what I'm noticing is just like the braveness and boldness of adults taking on certain concepts and presenting it to young kids and having them actually be receptive.
So we chatted right before Baby Shark's Big Show came out. So what was it like when it actually went out to the world and people started responding to it?
Yeah, it's been great. My friends with kids are always texting me like little videos of their kids watching it or little pictures of it on the TV. But it's been great. Like, I know that we're continuing to record, and every script I get is even more moving than the last. It's such a show for young kids, but it really explores big concepts. It tackles things like coral and taking care of a coral and climate change, and not being afraid of sharks or being afraid of creatures that are unlike you, which is also a My Little Pony theme. There's so many big amazing themes in there, fighting for what's right, that sort of thing. So it's really truly moving from the inside, but also to see that it's happening on the outside for people is really amazing.
That's really beautifully said. One of the things that's interesting is that voice acting is such an incredible art, and it's not something that people necessarily focus on. So how have you grown as a voice actor, and when did it become real for you? Like, oh, I could really do this as a thing and do many different projects here.
Yeah, I it sort of happened gradually, and it took years and years and years. It's kind of a hard industry to break into, even if you have, like, I feel like my voice is kind of unique. That's what people have told me throughout my life, and all that. But it took years. It took years and years of auditioning, and to finally be seen and start to get noticed, especially for my singing. It's been incredible, because I started this whole thing as a singer, and really pursuing theater and musicals. And then I got into TV and film, and being able to continue to sing and express myself in that way is so important to me. So now living in LA, away from New York and Broadway, it's just been the joy of my life, getting to sing as these characters and having people trust in my voice and what I'll bring to it. And it's also got me to crack down and be really serious about taking care of myself. And I'm taking more vocal lessons now than I have back in the day when I was doing theater, because I'm trying to expand my range. I'm trying to make sure that I have like different areas of my voice to explore. So it's cool.
It's funny that you mentioned the theater start, because that's how you got it going. And so many people just know you from TV and film. But when you think about that time on the stage, what were some of the biggest things that you learned as an actor?
I mean, just working with amazing people, it always changes me and my perspective. And just seeing how big or small people can be on stage, and how they're breathing. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is like, as a kid, I idolized so many of the people I got to work with on stage, and I continue to get to work with on stage. So that's pretty cool. But I also get to see how they work and not just like the final product, which is kind of amazing. Yeah.
You got a lot of names you could pull out of your hat. You have a few that come to mind that you got to work with that you're really inspired by?
Okay, well, I recently worked with Beth Level, who is like someone I've idolized for so long, like since I was in high school, obsessed with her. Also, Harriet Harris, she's incredible. They're lesser known to like the big public, but they've always been, someone that I've been excited about. I still have yet to. Well, what's odd is like I have worked with Lea Salonga, who was my true idol, but in a voiceover capacity. So it was isolated. I never got to meet her, but I got to see her final performance, and it was just beautiful. And I can say at least now that I've worked with her, but it's kind of not true. Like I haven't gotten to meet her yet.
There's definitely a difference when you're on the set with folks. And I would imagine for your Orange is the New Black experience, being on the set with those women was really phenomenal. And now, some years removed from that, what do you think is the biggest legacy of that show when you think about it now?
Well, I mean, that show did incredible things for diversity in television. It proved that it was interesting to people and that there was a market for it. Same with women in television. The trans community got a spotlight and finally got a voice in a way that they never had before. Prison reform, people were finally interested in it and really understood like, oh, these are people. We can like pretend like out of sight, out of mind, but these are real people that are getting affected by the way that they're being treated. And so I think it really did a lot. It really did a lot. And also it started off the whole Netflix and streaming movement, because that it also proved, wow, people will watch these things, on this level, not on television, on their computers. So it was kind of groundbreaking in so many ways.
It's funny thinking about it now, because Netflix back then, it was just like, oh, you're gonna do this show for this website or this this streaming service, and you're like, what is that? Like, I'm hoping to get the part, but I'm not even sure how big this thing's gonna be, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like, I think there's a show called House of Cards happening on it, but and Kevin Spacey's in it, so it must be good. Yeah, it was sort of like that vibe back then. But when I joined, actually, I joined the second season, so I was able to I knew it was a hit, and it was like really scary to join on. I was like, "Ooh, the pressure's on, you guys! Like everyone's watching the show." So it was wild.
Well, you came in, you made your impact there. You're still making your impact with all these things. Kimiko, really nice to chat again, and thanks so much for the time. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to see you.